All right, peace and blessings, brothers and sisters. So, I want to speak again about the promise that was given unto Abraham and the fulfillment of this promise. Okay, in Genesis chapter 12, when the Lord cast Abraham out of his father's land, okay, Genesis chapter 12, verse 1 through 3. Let's read. It says, Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Okay, right here, brothers and sisters, this is a sevenfold blessing. Okay, let me just say it's a sevenfold promise. Okay, verse 2, he says, I will make of thee a great nation. That's 1. Then he says, and I will bless thee. That's 2. And make thy name great. That's 3. And thou shalt be a blessing. That's 4. And I will bless them that bless thee. That's 5. And curse him that curseth thee. That's 6. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. That's 7. Okay, so it was a sevenfold promise given unto Abraham. Now, the fulfillment of this promise came later on in Abraham's life, and in his children's life. Notice in verse 3 it says, And I will bless them that bless thee. This promise was fulfilled in the story of Melchizedek. Let's go to Genesis chapter 14 and gonna start at verse 17 through 20. Let's look at this. It says, And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shavah, which is the Kingsdale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God. And he blessed him and said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth. And blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thy enemies into thy hand. And he gave him tithes of all. Right here was the fulfillment of that promise that was given to Abraham. The promise said, I will bless them that bless thee. Melchizedek is the one who blessed Abraham. Okay? Now, the last part of that promise was, In thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. This was fulfilled in the life of Joseph. Okay? Genesis chapter 39. Let's look at that. We're going to go to verse 3. Notice what it says. We're going to read from verse 3 to verse 8. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. Notice this word all. This word all is going to keep popping up. Verse 4. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him. And he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. Again, that word all. Verse 5. And it came to pass from the time that he made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. Didn't we just read the scripture about all the families of the earth will be blessed in Abraham's seed? This was the fulfillment. It came about through Joseph. Okay? And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. You notice how they keep saying all? Verse 6. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand. And he knew not aught he had, except the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. Verse 7. And it came to pass after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. Verse 8. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he had in my hand. You notice how from verse 3 to verse 8, it keeps saying all, all, all. Why does it keep saying all? If you've ever read this scripture, this chapter, Genesis chapter 39, you would be scratching your head wondering, why does it have to keep saying the same thing? Why would I have to keep telling you something over and over again? Because I'm trying to get you to understand something. And the point I'm trying to make is Joseph had all of the blessings. It was through Joseph that all the families of the earth was blessed. Joseph is the seed of Abraham, brothers and sisters. Now, a lot of people, or some people, are going to say this is talking about the one we call Jesus Christ, Yahushai, or Yahshua, or Joshua. Okay, but it was a time before that, brothers and sisters. We just can't skip from Abraham and go all the way to the New Testament. Okay, it's a lot of history that takes place before that. It was Joseph who the Lord blessed with all the blessings. And it was through Joseph that all the countries, all the families were blessed, brothers and sisters. Okay, Genesis, let's look at Genesis 41, 41 verse 56 and 57. Says, and the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands. You see how they keep using that word all? All, all. It keeps saying all. Why? Because this was the fulfillment of the blessing that was given unto Abraham. Genesis chapter 12. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, that's talking about Melchizedek, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. This was the fulfillment in the days of Joseph. All families were blessed through Joseph. Okay, brothers and sisters, you got a lot of people there. It's like they just skip over stories and they don't understand the fullness of those stories that they're reading. All countries came into Egypt to buy corn from Joseph. So right here we see the fulfillment of all families of the earth being blessed through the seed of Abraham. Okay? Matter of fact, if we go to Genesis 26, okay, verse 4, let's look at what it says. This is talking about Isaac. The Lord is speaking to Isaac. He says, and I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. When did the blessing happen? It happened during the days of Joseph. Okay? This was fulfilled during the days of Joseph, brothers and sisters. Do we have to go back to it? Genesis 41, verse 56, 57. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands. This was the fulfillment of the promise that was given unto Abraham. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense, brothers and sisters. We can't just be jumping, over all this history, over all these hundreds and thousands of years into the New Testament. Okay? So this was the promise given unto Abraham, which was fulfilled through Melchizedek, who blessed Abraham, and through Joseph, who blessed all the countries, including the Egyptians, when there was a famine in all the land. Okay? Peace and blessings.